It's your boy Tipsy Japan back with another episode of ATAS across time and space over here on TPC Japan. It's good to be back. What's going on with you? I got my host, my co-host. He's up here. You know, needs no introduction, but I allow him to introduce himself every single time, every day, every week in June. Go get a piece. Go ahead and get it.
You already know it's your boy Ace from CXC, Cross Culture in the building with ATAS episode number 63. Yo, we out here, man. We out here. Oh, yeah. Whoa, how we do it? 6-3? There it is. Okay.
6-3. Yeah, man. We back. It feels good to be over here. We're gonna have a nice, clean, peace episode today. We asking how you doing though. We ask how you doing first because we're checking in. It's important to check in for our early bird special. Yeah.
Got the early birds in there.
We in the building.
Okay.
12:31 Japan time. First comment in the space. Put it up.
What a pulse laser.
Put it up. All right. My hat's off to you, sir. Or my hoodie.
Oh, yeah. I ain't got the cup today, man. I don't got the mug, man.
No, folks was upset. They were like, yo, so I heard y'all had some merch. If you're looking for merch, it's down there in the link section below. Go ahead, get yourself
description. Get that, please.
ATAS mug, ATAS hoodie, ATAS. I mean, look, whatever you want.
We ain't made the hoodie yet. You want?
Put it in the comment section. What do you want? All right, we doing this.
Okay.
Right? Because we trust your sovereignty, the sovereignty of your mind. You can, whatever you guys decide. Your free will is your free will. Over here on Tipsy Japan. And it tastes so good. Yeah, man. So today we over here, we still on Homo Deus, but we getting up there as far as the chapters, right?
Oh yeah.
Chapter 10.
Chapter 10 here.
The whole thing. All right. That's beautiful. I just lock it down, the whole thing. Clean. All right. And it's on one of my favorite subjects. Because I guess I'm a modern human. My DNA has been tweaked by the system being not, you could call it evolution. You could call it the economy. But yeah,
sure.
I'm saying. Like we've been tweaked during the Anthropocene period. We've been tweaked towards the more useful person gets to survive.
Yeah.
Ladies do not pick. Ladies, you don't pick the one that's not useful. Don't lie. You don't pick a man that's not useful.
For real. There's a whole movement of the F boys.
The F boys.
Throw it down like that. The ones that ain't no good for you. The ones that promise you the world and give you nothing but trouble.
Yep.
So you don't want those. Make sure you get somebody who's just as adventurous as you. If you're not adventurous, then somebody that likes to watch movies and snuggle, if that's your thing. But don't get somebody that's gonna force you into a bunch of stuff, or you're gonna be the dead weight to them. It's not a good look for anybody.
Okay, that's true. But like, I think as men, it's like, you in some like traditional type societies, in Japan being one of those pretty traditional type places, right? It's hard to just like balance it out and say that everything is equal, because the way that their system, their economy shapes it, it's like you don't make equal pay. Like it just does not happen.
Oh yeah.
So the type of contribution that you can make financially, it's like, if you're the guy, you better go ahead and make that financial contribution as big as possible. Now, there are the outliers, and God bless the outliers, right? Because you up there pushing the limits of what society can be, and then showing the next generation that it can be more. But it takes a generation, all right?
Yeah.
It's like 30, 40 years, all right?
Yeah.
It ain't no joke. But today, we're looking at two emerging religions that are coming out of not the Hindu, Valley. Good. All right. So I'm not the only one. All right. Like the valley where, Hindu religion came from. You're not looking at east of the Euphrates. We're looking at the Indus Valley, right? Indus. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because that's where we get the word Indian, right? Okay. We're not looking at traditional places for where religion is coming from. We're looking, but Mr. Harari over here is looking at Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
As the new location of where religions are coming from. And he presents two different types. Today we're going to be looking at the first one. The second one is called data religion or dataism. And that's going to be over there on your side.
Across CXC.
X culture, right? Next week. Y'all going to be looking at dataism, but this week we're going to be taking a deep dive into techno-humanism.
Techno-humanism.
Right? So what's the difference between the two? One is a bit more conservative. That's the techno-humanism. And the other side is a bit more, cutting edge / we're going to cut the umbilical cord and just say, hey, we can't evolve any further. We're going to leave it up to the data and we're going to create some kind of digital thing that y'all going to be talking about over there on CXC. Over here, we're talking about upgrading the human. Techno-humanism, upgrading our minds, upgrading our abilities, but we're still using the human body. What parts are you okay to have upgraded? That's the first question. The first soup du jour. Okay. We're going to downgrade the ears because the music is too loud. I'm going to downgrade that so we can hear you up close. All right.
Look, if I had to say one thing that I wouldn't mind upgrading, it would probably be the heart.
Your heart?
Yeah, and this is the only reason I say that is because the heart has one function, is to pump. And I feel like upgrading anything else would be a little too complex. Although the heart is like one of the most important organs, it just has the one job to, intake and put out. Intake, put out, intake, put out. And as long as it's connected properly, then you have no issues. But if, let's say, the heart was mechanical in some way, shape, or form, then you wouldn't have like arrhythmia. Or you wouldn't have, your heart hopefully not just stopping.
Right.
So it would alleviate a lot of these issues that we have. I mean, that's just me personally. I'm not trying to get like a terabyte of storage of memory, implanted or anything. But the heart, I feel like that would. That's a good
heart
one.
Can go. That's an interesting. That's an interesting response right there. Like I want to bring the conversation in that direction because. Like, where's your mind? Where's your heart? Where do you make gut decisions? Like all of that is a cultural thing. The way that you imagine where your heart is,
or the seat of your decision making. Yeah.
Where's all of that? Where is that in your heart, or is your heart just a pump?
I don't. They say in America, it's in your chest. Like thinking with your heart.
You put your hand like, when you say
your heart, the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, that's the seat of your decision making. And then people also say, think with your head, not with your heart. People say think with your head, not with other body parts. But for the Hebrew people, it was more that the gut, your bowels. So it's like that's where we get like the gut instinct, the gut feeling. Butterflies in my stomach. I this doesn't sit well with me. All of those idioms kind of come from that, bringing it over. So I mean, it is a little different depending on the culture. What about in Japan? Is there any idioms like that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's you know, iga kuroi, right? Like your stomach is black.
What?
Right? Your stomach is black.
Yo, mine is all the time. Like,
No, I know, right? But it's like that means that you're thinking something. You're thinking something like,
oh my
you got
goodness.
some sagokuro, right? You got something going on, and you know, and haro watte hanasu. Like, I opened up my stomach to show you what's really on my mind. This
Chill
is my
out.
truth. This is my truth.
Chill out.
And that's, you know, they also committed like seppuku or harakiri, but
yeah.
that's to show you that it's real. This is my true intention. Yeah. It gets real serious over here. So when you say it's in the gut, yeah. They wasn't cutting their head open and saying, this is what I really think.
No, that seppuku is down here, and then somebody chops off your head at the end. It's like
right. After the fact. But you're showing that you're resolved, yeah? By showing everything that you got in.
Oh my goodness.
But interestingly, the thing that they're spilling there is the gut flora. And there is a strand of research, not just a strand, a whole field of research around decision making being connected to how those bacteria feel in your gut.
Oh, that is strange.
If those good bacteria are dying off, you would see lab experience with the rats or whatever, like or lab mice, like they actually act different. It's not that they're feeling sick so they act different. The gut flora feel different. Therefore, the mind of that creature is different. They're not going to be as, active. They're not going to be as engaged. They're not going to go through the whole rat maze because the way that their gut bacteria are feeling. We don't even know how our gut bacteria are feeling. We have no idea. All right. And that leads towards the next topic within this chapter about the study of the mind. There's only two areas that we've really looked at in the West. One is the underperforming mind, the non-normative, the sick mind, right? We have a lot of research about that. And then the weird mind. What was what? What's the weird?
You said the weird mind. No, I can't because I was always for the longest time it wasn't weird, it was WASP.
The WASP mind?
WASP. White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. So it was WASP before it was weird. And ever since you started talking about weird, I can't ever
can't go
switch.
Cannot see it, cannot hear it.
WASP is ingrained in me more than weird. So it's like, oh, what's weird? And it's like, yeah, I ain't got it.
Okay. No, I mean, the thing is, I've heard WASP before, but it's always felt like a slur.
Slur. I mean, weird doesn't seem like a slur to you?
No, it just means weird. Like it is. It isn't. I mean, it's derogatory in a sense because it's not normal. It's weird. But when I was growing up, I was a little, elementary school student. I remember this girl named Lisa. She said, "Kareem, you're so weird." I was like, "Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means I'm not like y'all." All right. I was so happy about that. Oh my God. Once, yeah. So I was cool with it, and I've always had that, weird as being, different, but in a way like you can do things that other people can't. That being said, when they say weird in this context, they're talking about white, educated, industrialized, rich, democratic nations. And the research that we have available is in those areas, right? They're talking about one research finding supposed to be, groundbreaking, like Nature or one of these major journals, whatever. And he said, but unfortunately, it's like 67% of participants were from America, and then 90% of the participants were from like psychology majors, because
Oh yeah. It was the psychology magazine that he was talking about. He said it should be renamed to like the psychological study of psych students or something like that. Yeah.
So that's a problem.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so who are you gonna like get your research from? Like people who aren't tied to it, who aren't interested in it, who don't care? Well, if you don't, then you're gonna have some really skewed results.
Too true.
You know, or you got to change your research method. Like, I was reading this really interesting book about it's called Everybody Lies, and I would have loved to talk about that one next.
We got 3 books on right now. The latter 2 are actually not on script, so we still need to talk about that. But the next one, what is it? Reggie, yeah, it's I can't remember the name. It's Disrupting the Game. There we go. So that's the next one. That's the next.
That's
one
on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody Lies. I mean, that's just like some homework for y'all. I'm go ahead putting that in the comment section. If you already read Everybody Lies, great. Like, what did you think? If you haven't read it yet, that's your homework. Get a piece, because
get a pen, and a pad, and write it down.
Write it down, y'all. Because
where is my pen? Where is my pen?
It's a fun listen, but it's weird because it's basically asking or saying that you could just do research based on Google searches. What are people looking up right before the election? What are people looking up right now? What do people look up when nobody's watching? All right. Like, people are so honest when they're asking Google.
Got it there. Everybody lies.
Yeah. All right. When they're asking Google for whatever they're interested in at that time, that's where they are being honest. And you could do all kinds of, questionnaire here and that, but there's a bias that's produced when you do that. It's like, okay, well, this is the answer that they're expecting me to give, so I have to kind of give this answer. Or if it's anonymous, then I'm going to give a kind of different answer. I'm okay with that, but they're not really being honest, even to yourself most of the time. So questionnaires are trash. Yeah. What? Huh? What? Oh, hopefully a questionnaire coming. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, because it hits on the on something that came, and I don't know if you're gonna get to this.
What you see?
But
what do you see?
The wanting to belong. So I mean, this goes back to Maslow's need pyramid,
okay.
And why men cheat, why people lie is because they want the sense of belonging.
Oh yeah.
That's a base level need.
Mm-hmm.
So in the chapter, it talked about this young man who was experiencing homosexual tendencies. So he was lying to himself because he was in a religious background. He came from a religious background. So he wanted to go with his, $100,000 and get basically therapy so that he would never be attracted to men again. And it's this dichotomy where you have the person that you're expected to be versus your true self, the person that you are. So we lie to ourselves and we give the answers that people would expect for us to give while lying to ourselves. Yeah.
And that conversation was really interesting because, he goes to get his, his kind of tendencies turned off. But then the guy looks like George Clooney and he's like, I never want to
maybe never be straight again. Like, what?
Yeah. Whoa.
It all turned around.
Yeah. So I mean that part of it's real interesting. But you also touched on something right in there that I had a feeling that you might go in that direction, and it was basically about our free will. And the thing about techno-humanism is that we're still giving sovereignty to the human mind, But the kind of problem is that we're going to be able to, through our technological advances, we're going to be able to turn feelings up and feelings down. They said that we weren't really able to explore. We're not really able to explore at this point all of our mental states, but fine. All right, let's work with the weird mind. All right, if people are experiencing like anger and they're upset and they're making irrational decisions, then that's not good. So let's use our technology to turn that stuff down so they can make the right choice. Is that okay? Because we do that with medicine right now. Turning, the little
Ritalin. They said it in the chapter. Gosh.
They talked about the attention helmet specifically. You put this helmet on. This is in the army. It exists already.
Dang.
All right. You put on the attention helmet, and now it turns down all the human stuff, and you can make more rational decisions. The right decisions.
That's a little crazy. So I have I think 3 things I want to bring up right now, real quick.
Okay.
So there's an episode of Teen Titans, the original series, not this Teen Titans Go spin-off, crazy weird stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out there like that. Okay. Where Cyborg, the character Cyborg, he's saying like, "Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy going into my processing unit. He's half man, half machine. So he's literally turning down like, oh, I don't need to eat as often as I've been eating. He literally turns it down to the point where his machine mind basically takes over. His personality is gone. And that becomes the new issue, is that how do I get my human side back? This is a very
human side back. Woo. Okay. Yes.
Very, very bad thing. But you talked about the attention helmet.
Yes.
That I can see as a good thing in certain situations. And the only reason I say that is because I know that in my church, I'm a drummer, and I have had somebody who is high functioning autistic come up to me and say, when you hit the bass drum in a what is it, eighths, so dot 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 dot, it messes with me. And I have seen somebody else come in with sensory deprivating headphones. This is technology.
Yes.
It may not be high tech, but it is something that helps them to turn down their auditory so that they can be a part of everything else that's going on. So I can see, both aspects, where it might be horrible, making you into a machine, but it might also help you to be your true self in society.
It'll help you. It'll help you. Yeah, exactly. That's the point right there. It'll help you in society. They basically said we've got like 3 kind of pieces of equipment that are getting stronger and stronger, better and better. We have powerful drugs, genetic engineering, electronic helmets, right? And I consider Vision Pro.
You better talk about it. Oh, snap. I completely forgot about it, man.
I consider that electronic helmet of one type because you are shaping the reality that you get to see and changing the reality on the other side of it for everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. And direct brain to computer interfaces. And that's
Tesla.
Tesla's going.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I say Tesla at least, if
Tesla.
not at the same time.
The brain implant. Yeah, you gotta. Man.
So of those four different tools that are currently currently getting better and better. Like seriously, last week, right? Vision Pro was last week. All right. If you haven't seen it yet, check out WWDC. It's a product gonna launch next year. Okay, you put on your helmet and experience the reality differently from everybody else.
Augmented reality, not just virtual reality. So this is a step up from Quest. This is augmented reality.
Well, that's not what Apple will say though.
Oh, of course, that's not what they're gonna say because they want to market it as something different and higher.
Yeah. There's a dial though. It's literally a dial.
Oh no!
Surface headphones. You could turn it, and then like reality like goes out of view, and you see the virtual version. Right? This is mixed reality. They call it MR. All right.
So let me just speak to that for a second.
Which of those four would you be more comfortable with? Go ahead.
Oh! Why you had to say that now?
That's what the question was 30 seconds ago. I just had to.
All right. So before I answer that, you know what? Just after I answer that. All right. So of those four, which one would I be? I think the helmet, as long as I can take it off. Yeah, because I feel like it might actually help to do productive things. Like if you can just shut off the world. Like when I go to work,
yes,
my phone is programmed so that only my wife or favorited contacts can get in touch with me without calling twice in 15 minutes. I don't have, any type of notifications coming in from like TikTok, Instagram, nothing like that. They make no sounds. And I'm able to focus on work because I noticed that it was like my phone would go off and it would like, oh, it's not the wife.
Right.
It's not the wife. And it was just taking time away from what I get paid to do. And I need that money.
And you need to raise the quality of the work that you're doing at that time. So you would like to put on the helmet that's just and you are in the work, period.
Yep.
You're not letting, the antennas, all those antennas are turned off and it's just focus mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're more okay with that than even the drugs
than the drugs. Yeah. But I would like to reach back to the helmet, the Vision Pro, because what is it? MKBHD?
Yes.
Very famous YouTuber, tech YouTuber.
Tech buff.
Yeah, he goes hard. But he was saying that the first time the Vision Pro got introduced, it looked almost exactly frame for frame as Ready Player One. And Ready Player One is set in a dystopian future where people were always, like jacked in. It's like, hey, I'm going to make money on this thing, to where in the opening scenes of that movie, you see a mother who's like doing, and the child is like, hey, I need attention. I need something. And trips over the child or something. And then it's like, you killed me. I'm not going to die now. And then she has like a what's it called? Vest on. She's like, do.
Yeah.
So it looks like Apple is trying to kind of play on that. I don't know. It looking like it could be very bad. It has a dial on the side the same way, like almost one for one. And that's a little scary.
That's the thing. People are scared of that. So who's buying it? I mean, it's
$3,500. Not I, said the cow.
It's $3,500. Unless your whole family is using it, unless everybody is using it, you're the only one that looks like a dummy with the thing on your head. I'm sorry. Like, it is cool. It's probably, it looks really nice, like if you're on the inside of it, but everybody else that sees you is like, what are you doing? There's no social acceptance of wearing a helmet on your head to experience reality. There's no acceptance of that.
Yeah.
Not right now. If you by yourself, if you want to experience reality on a higher level, you could turn on the internet and get all, you search for whatever you want and just focus on that thing. You could put on a VR helmet. But what I recommend get yourself one of these. This is a pen for those listening on Spotify.
A pen.
And not Apple or iTunes, but on Google Music or Google YouTube
Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts. There we go. Go ahead and get yourself a pen and a pad.
A pad.
Right? You get one of these, Japonica. There's a pad. Except a pen and a pad, and write it down. It's your boy Tipsy Japan. It's been a pleasure. Chapter 10 was hitting. What's going on right now in the metaverse is hitting.
Oh,
I know. Player One, they said that was they were in the metaverse using Apple's Vision Pro. All right, that's what the movie was like.
Yeah.
Before we get there, before things get distorted and dystopian, look, get yourself a pen and pad, write it down, and
write it down,
check and see what's really going on with your reality. All right, get locked in. It's your boy Tipsy Japan telling you that's what it is. Get it off, face.
Until next time, you already know what your boy Ace says. Stay prayed up. Be blessed.